Welcome back. Do you want a cup of tea?
How can you be so much like Risley, always drinking tea?
Huh. Actually, now that you mention it, I just remembered something now. While I was sedated, I could still barely hear two people talking next to me. They were discussing everything, from the leaves, to the water, and even the teacups themselves.
Must have been Risley and Sishwin.
Yeah, I heard one male voice and one female, so it should have been the two of them. They really were just talking about brewing tea.
I really can't make sense of this place.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn anything from Risley?
Yeah, he explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations? Yeah, I took...
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sijwin is also busy with something or other. So let's just talk here.
Alright, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself 3 questions. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea. My theory is, the long-lost primordial sea is probably very close to the fortress of Mirapede.
Ooh, he's good. He got that right on the first try.
That's our Linny.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first, then suddenly roadblocked us. Why? I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably ignored us at first because he was hoping we could find Master Child for him. What's more, the Fortress of Mirapede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it do anything about Master Child's disappearance. Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the two factions are pitted against each other, Risley will be free to move between the parties of interest.
That's a
If I had
cool
to
quest,
guess, he probably
NGL.
has something that he's working on himself.
Face red heart
It's likely
shape.
related to the secret of the infirmary, but I just can't think of what it could be.
You're super smart.
Thanks so much. Then finally, there's the last question. If Risley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. He's even gotten Cloran to help him out. That can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary, and there's something big in the fortress that most people here never get to see. He has a bargaining chip, and it could be important enough for Father to deal with him directly. I don't have enough information, so I have no idea what his chip might be. But let me guess. You have the last piece of the puzzle.
The sea will engulf everyone. Just like the prophecy said.
Could Risley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to resolve the crisis.
Or perhaps he didn't know, and just wanted to bring Father over to his side? Which could be why he said he just wanted to negotiate.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well. The two of you have already aided us far too much. We probably wouldn't be standing here right now if not for you.
Get prepared for
If you
a
ever
big,
need anything
big
else going
plot
forward,
twist
please come
at
to the House of
end
the
of
Hearth at
the
any time.
Archon quest.
Though you may not
I
share the sentiment,
cried.
after all that
Emoji
we've gone through together,
crying
the three of us
loudly.
basically see you as family
Emoji
now.
crying loudly.
You have my
Emoji
gratitude.
crying loudly.
Thank you for protecting Linny when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress with us. We didn't think you were going to do it.
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden?
Given your strength, you might not need our help at all. But if you are ever in danger, we will try our best.
We're seeing if I'm talking. Hello. Ah. Am I talking? Okay, now I'm talking. Um, I don't know how I'm gonna feel.
Uh, Paimon's hungry.
Oh, you've done so much already. Go.
Alright, then we'll catch you guys another time.
I don't like the way the lighting's like that. What's something freaking in this? Tired.
It's time for dinner. Welfare meals now being served in the coupon cafeteria.
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well. Traveler and Paimon, over here. Are you here for dinner too, Miss Sijwin?
Mm-hmm. And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare Miss Cloran's dinner as well.
Huh. You're right. She's actually sitting in the fortress cafeteria.
What would you like to eat? Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like.
Me too. Don't forget Paimon.
No problem. Just leave it to me.
So delicious. Is this how it feels to be freeloaders?
Feeling full yet? How's the food?
Delicious.
I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, see, the expression on your face just now? The muscle here just moved, which suggests that you're feeling quite relaxed.
Sijwin, do you do this to help your patients or to better...
A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a melazine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if...
You're really good at taking care of...
Really? You're reminded of an older...
Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's office? When you said that you were protecting Linny and his siblings as well?
Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. I was getting a bit worried after hearing that something was wrong with the water. Thankfully, Clorand is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace, although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linney as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't allow him to be in any real danger.
You were all super considerate and really thought everything...
It's just what we do down here at the fortress. At least... Oh, I really wish Monsieur Nervula would come down here more often, too. I feel like he'd like it here, with all the darkness and chaos. Get a good night's rest, you two. You both worked very...
When is our... when is...
much has happened. Paimon just feels absolutely exhausted now that she's finally relaxed. Paimon's super sleepy. Delicious. Paimon wants seconds.
Out of my way! Get out of my way! What happened? Why is everyone running? No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking!
Great, now we gotta see what's going on.
What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey! What are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye!
Hey! Wait! What's wrong with these people? They won't...
They're here! There you are!
Oh, thank goodness!
Quisto and Laveroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. His Grace is telling everyone to evacuate and get out. Laveroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that?
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up?
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us. Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible, upwards and outward.
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Whoa, wait, what? What, hey?
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
Hey, hey! Be careful!
We won't die from the water though.
Please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
They're here.
Just like I said.
What happened?
Ooh, I love animations. They're so cool.
You're just in time. But be ready to run.
It's not gonna hold on that much longer.
Three, two, one.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense.
We gotta go behind.
The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Why did that almost make me cry? Not gonna lie, that almost made me cry. Like, I almost cried.
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately. Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must... Will do. You have...
Opera House is just straight ahead. What's the Fatui doing here?
Look! There are a ton of Fatui and Palais Mermonia people over there! The knave is probably here already. We need to hurry!
Are you two the traveler in Paimon? Monsieur Nervalet has left, though I'm sure he's already explained the
This is so interesting.
Oh, so you two are the honored guests Miss Farina mentioned.
Of course, of course! How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have two or more—
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the Knave, one of the 11 Fatui Harbit.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores.
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Farina. I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing. I'm really worried about his safety, you know. Here's to hoping that he's an excellent swimmer.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really looked certainly pretty impressive, yeah.
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Child was subdued by Udex Neuvillette right in front of you. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas. Coming from you, that's not surprising.
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier, as you well know.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure that Child is—
Oh, and just how—
Because we found evidence that proved he left the Fortress of Meripede.
And where did he go after leaving the fort?
Well—
The Fortress of Meripede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to swim for it. Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago, since he was unfortunately unavailable. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time.
letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are accurate, it doesn't matter so much.
Hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
I suppose this is...
Huh?
Have we entered into the next...
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
I love the animation.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
A day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled, and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day! This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
All right. Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed. But only for now.
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Very well. It was indeed just as you said.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
So what gift must the loser give? Tea?
He already has tons of tea in his office. I'm thinking about a set of legal codices.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the law.
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal codices.
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld, correct?
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbinger.
Novelet is so fine! Monsieur Novelet.
I must say, we've spent long enough, Miss Farina. As the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of—
What are you trying—
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as— Yet, here you are, relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray the prophecies hanging above our necks like a guillotine. But you?
You're wrong.
I am not alone in my doubts. Oh, great.
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge me. Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am, I will.
Then I ask you, Miss Fur—
My machination.
I see. Allow me to be so bold.
And...
Oh, that look in your eyes. Have you not—
The emergency—
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the purpose of your Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse card? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has—
The Oratrice?
So you also have no eye— I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly— Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Neuvillette is not at the tea party with us.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly right.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Farina, you seem quite insecure. Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left. Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? Those who work hard. You too, Paimon.
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on that offer. Oh, Paimon's super full.
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality. Yeah.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Farina's table. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so...
Very well. We'll end it here.
Mind seeing me off, Traveler? We could...
Paimon's coming too!
The tea party turned out to be even more difficult than I'd imagined. Why are you looking at me like that? Is something the matter? If there's nothing urgent, then I shall be retiring for now.
The Oratrice Mécanique is gonna... Can I come up here? I can go up here, right? Oh, I can only play as one character. Oh, this is... I just realized I can play as the Traveler. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse now. This place is so beautiful.
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
That's what Paimon thought.
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude. Do I look like an irresponsible father to you? The House of the Hearth is very important to me. You should know that I care deeply about my That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are still there, and I trust their judgment.
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried to stop them. Especially...
You mean Ridesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression of Furina? You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily. Allow me to share my perspective with you.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all— Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any—
No need. I will take care. I need to meet with Furina, the Hydro Archon.
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you! You dare to run from me? Stop right—
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't— Anything left unguarded is usually just— It's just as I guessed in the In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't—
The fear in her pupils is genuine. So perhaps she's not bait after all. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Furina quietly cried alone. There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively, it might have been hidden in a place that's hard for ordinary people to—
Yes, Father.
My dear children.
News from the Fortress of Meripede.
Probably the handiwork of that— I'm afraid this is a good Set up a meeting for me. Oh, and—
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was— The initiative belongs to the house. You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you.
You attacked the—
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Furina herself is still pretending that nothing of that— I've now had 2 chances to enjoy— I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsari. Of course, that is all It is, however, quite amusing. Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. It looks— Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. Should the need arise, I would be happy to cooperate with you. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly. You must want to
Neuvillette, is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. Thank you for protecting Farina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back the primordial sea and So as expected, the Knave has turned up the pressure on Farina. Permission granted.
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon, right? But that's just a spec... You can't tell us? Then that's okay. We can talk about something else. We won't try to force you. You guys in Fontaine are super strange.
If by the phrase, you guys, you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics. I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief and suffering. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
Huh? Why is it raining?
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... Huh?
Please do not be so surprised. Farina? Ah, my apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the dragon...
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep this a secret for...
Right, of course. We'll definitely help. There's still something Paimon wants to ask you.
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, and you were able to force back the primordial sea from the... Then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to...
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, possess our full dragon. They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the basis of the Archon's authority.
There are 7 elemental Archons and 7 matching dragon sovereigns.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient history. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal with the prophecy.
Oh, so even you can't solve it.
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions regarding ancient history, you are welcome to discuss them with me at a later time.
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay another visit to the Fortress of Meripede? We'll see you another time.
Take care.
I knew it, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it!
I will lie, I will fly, chase the wind and touch the sky. I will fly, chase the wind and touch the sky. Na 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 na.
The sun feels almost as hot as those studio lights I'm in front of all the time. Good thing there can only be one sun.
The more data samples, the better.
Wait, don't I have to go upstairs and then around? I'm trying to like learn more about Fontaine instead of just like teleporting everywhere. Cause I feel like because like I wanna one day like walk through these areas. You're telling me I can't use this boat to go?
Now guess, what suit will this next...
Well, well, look who it is.
Traveler, pop...
Looks like you're recovering nicely.
Thanks to everyone. Oh, right. I managed...
Whoa, how did she react?
She told me that it was nothing.
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all. She's right, and it's best not...
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out. We went back to the opera.
You meant father? Did she say anything?
She said a few things that were, a bit...
Her attitude towards you is even better than what we'd imagined. You should believe her. She has her own way of doing things, and she'll do everything in her power to help.
Father is very capable, and...
Oh, Paimon just remembered that she thought Lenny was a bit too proud as well. She said that you should learn how to rely on others sometimes.
That does sound like something that father would say.
Hey!
Are you going to stay here for the next few...
Looks like it, yeah.
Excellent.
For real? Then Paimon...
Another implies that you were already served some delicious cake while you were up there. Well, next time, you're going...
Talk to Lenny, Lynette, and Ferdinand. I love those three. They're so cute. Especially Ferdinand. He's so cold. He's my cousin of today, my cousin.
You guys are back?
Crystal! Macaroon!
You guys didn't get caught and thrown back down here, right?
Huh? No, not at all.
And here I thought you'd managed to escape from jail during all the commotion. I'd held you up as legendary jailbreakers, but now you're telling me...
We're sorry, but we just had some business to take care of.
All right. There's no need to get caught up in the details. We're just relieved to see you. He was super worried about you, you know.
Hey, it wasn't just me. Weren't you super worried as well?
Something like that, yeah. I was also transferred to work in the kitchen a few days ago. I can still hear Quisto mumbling to the carrots. Are those two all right? Do you think they made it out alive? Whenever he'd say that, I'd tell him I'm sure they're fine. Wherever they are, they're kicking back with drinks in hand, enjoying the lovely scenery.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with worrying about your prison pals. Is there? I mean, considering how they always love listening to all my gossip.
These two. They sure are a lot warmer and friendlier than when Paimon first met them.
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be watching you to make sure you finish every last bite.
No, it's not. Hi. Playing Genshin and And...
Seedwing!
Play it at all.
Traveler! Paimon, you're back! Are you still doing alright? Did either of you get hurt?
We're fine, but what about you guys? It was such a huge mess. How bad was it?
A few people sustained superficial injuries, but that's about the extent of the damage. Monsieur Nervulette paid us a visit. It was all thanks to him that we managed to suppress the crisis for the time being. Oh, of course, we must also thank you for the help you provided.
How did Nervulette know that he was needed here?
Well, Monsieur Nervulette has strong resonance with the hydro element. When the water level rises, he can feel the waves produced. I ran into the bombshell bros while bandaging the injuries of the wounded. They were mumbling the whole time about how you just ran down without a word. I'm so relieved to see that you're both alright. If you're not too pressed for time, please stay with us a few more days. Just let me know if you get a craving for any particular dish, so I can have Mr. Walsey get your meals prepared. Oh, and please feel free to visit the infirmary for a break at any time. I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more time observing your facial muscles as well. Your happy smiles are quite contagious, you know. They're so memorable, and I've missed them immensely while you were gone.
I'm just out of it. I was drinking this morning. Because alcohol is medicine. I got drunk with friends this morning. We were all drinking. Yeah, it was fun. We were all doing like push-ups on VR, and then we were doing sit-ups, and then we literally, yeah, and then my friend was like, you know what, I'm gonna do a handstand, and she kept on falling over. Yeah, the life of the arcade is amazing. Have you ever played it? That's everyone on VR chat. If you play VR chat, you're gonna at least fuck someone in your life. Nah. Fuck's worse things. Don't you have It's a chill game. You don't have to play the fight. Jesus. You're a wimp. You're a wimp. You're a wimp.
Jurier, Miss Sishween told me you still haven't eaten.
Yeah, I was working on something, so I
That's no excuse for... Huh? What?
Jurier, Lurvine, we're back!
Hello there. It's been quite the mess here recently. How have you been?
And you? Are you still taking the secret passageway from the infirmary to work on the ship?
Yep. That is still top secret, though. So don't say a word to anyone.
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of people in the infirmary, but I still prefer taking that route over the one from the Duke's office.
I mean, the infirmary does make it easier for you to slack off.
Oh yeah? Then why are you also here so much?
You two really are just using your jobs as a cover for your relationship, aren't you?
Not at all!
Do my eyes deceive me, or did I just see two inmates come back after making it to the surface?
We wanted to see how the fortress is doing. Is everything still alright?
We're fine, for the most part. Neuvillette came down and took care of the worst of it.
If that's the case, why don't you just ask him to stay here?
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. Let's go convince the Udex himself to exchange the court. He came here in a hurry and left without even stopping for a cup of tea. He did remember to take Miss Sigewinne's gift with him, though.
He sure sounds super busy.
Miss Cloran has left as well. She also took her gift from Miss Sigewinne.
Were the gifts milkshake?
Neuvillette got the milkshake. Cloran received lipstick instead.
Those aren't even remotely alike.
Well, it's Neuvillette's own fault for making Sigewinne worried about his health by working so much. But besides that, our head nurse is still pretty fond of picking out beauty products for the ladies. Oh, and I have some gifts here for you as well.
Are these from Sigewinne too?
Nope, they're from yours truly. You've already wrapped up your work at the fortress, so you can return to the surface at any time. You haven't yet served your full prison term, however, so you may continue to use your cell until your term is up.
For real? Then we could stay here for a really long time?
You may access the cafeteria for free.
Hooray!
Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for your release.
Hurry up and load so I can use my... I kinda think I should get, I'm looking at my history, guys. Lynette, so, the last 5-star I got was on the 5th, no, on the 2nd of the 5th month on the 2nd of 2024. Mm. Tenpool, guys. Tenpool. I don't know if I want to do it. so many friends throughout our adventure, but even though we made so many friends, I only had a true connection with the friends in the I mean, Child can just like jump off a bridge. Like the fact that like I did this, I guess I should give Kaya like a little bit of credit because if he didn't go missing, I would have never made these amazing friends. Okay. And no one likes a child. Not gonna be honest. Being honest, no one likes a child. Everyone loves Child, but I'm over here like Child stinks. Like he should go jump off a bridge.
We're back in our cell again. We're no longer prisoners, though, so it really doesn't feel the same. Being free sure feels pretty special now. Huh? How did you know? Hey, that's not true! All right. Okay, Paimon just wanted to say that we really are an amazing duo after all. It's like we've now gone to so many places together and become friends with so many people. We've never stopped traveling or stopped meeting new friends. There are so many bad things in the world, and we're just two people, but we've still been solving problems no matter where we go. Isn't that pretty cool? You're counting Paimon today? Aren't you the only adventurer here? Then let's ask Catherine to give Paimon an adventurer handbook as well. Paimon will also be an adventurer from today forward! Just our thoughts making Paimon giddy. The last time we fell asleep here, we woke up to a whole mess outside our cell. The primordial seawater nearly... We should be safe now, right? Alright then, good night to you, traveler.
This is the first act.
for... Wait a sec. Isn't something important supposed to happen? Oh, today's our big day! We're supposed to leave the Fortress of Mirapede! Come...
Ready, guys? I'm free!
Please, sign here. This document will be effective immediately upon signing, and you two may exit the Fortress of Mirapede via the regular channels.
It's been so long since we've been to the surface. Let's hurry up and...
What's happening? I'm fine, thanks. But I wonder what that tremor was just now.
Let's go ask the Duke.
Dookie-chan! Dookie-wookie!
Dookie-ookie-bookie!
We love the Dookie, right? The Dookie. Praise Dookie Bookie. Dookie. Dookie. Dookie.
Your Grace?
Ah, good to see you two. Is there something you wish to see me about?
Yeah, what was with that earthquake just now?
Ah, that. The tremor didn't originate from the seafloor. In fact, it seems it came from the surface. Over the years of serving as the warden here, I have developed a sense for distinguishing between what occurs on the surface and what occurs underwater. Besides, the seal that Monsieur Neuvillette set in place won't fail so easily.
So the fortress is okay?
If you recall our last incident, if there really were a problem, there would be crowds of inmates in a panic right now.
Huh, you've got a point. Okay, seems we need to get back up to the surface and ask about what happened. By the way, do you know what day it is today?
I believe today is this month's pipe cleaning day.
Wait, seriously?
Ah, yes. Have you completed your release?
Yep. It's you two. That's right. Today is our last day in prison. But now that Paimon says that, it doesn't feel like we were confined here. It's actually been pretty nice. Oh yeah, Paimon feels fun.
Then be sure to come back and visit. I'll miss you.
If you've signed the release papers, then you're free to go. The guards will escort you out.
You're not going to see us off?
I knew you'd ask. All right, sure. Let's go.
Well, you actually agreed. No worries, you must be busy. Paimon was just
Ah, so you do have a polite side, I see.
After being down here for so long, I imagine you must feel like you're lacking companionship. Shall I come along too?
Yeah, don't worry, we'll come back to see you. Paimon really likes the cafeteria here. The chefs sure do know how to make good grub.
I hope you won't be here as convicts the next time I see you.
We'll do our best to stay out of trouble. Well, it seems our work in the Fortress of Mirapede is finished. That's the end of another chapter in our journey. And since Neuvillette was the one who asked us to come here, we should probably go report to him now. Next up, the Palais Mermonia.
You're going to see Monsieur Neuvillette? Please pass on our kind regards.
I'm sure just your regards will do.
I believe it would be the polite...
You're right. I've heard the Palais has been terribly busy these days. Tell him that I hope he hasn't been overwhelmed by the recent string of trouble.
thought he was coming on with us to see us off. Okay. This is our story. Banana, 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 ooga booga, banana, banana. Trying to be careful with the words I'm saying, 'cause I'm
The Palais Mermonia sure is buzzing with activity today.
Halt! Huh? Oh, it's you two. Apologies. Monsieur Neuvillette did say you'd be welcome at any time.
Excuse me, would you mind helping me take a look at this report?
I'll be right there. Sorry, I've got my hands full here. You can see yourselves in.
Everyone's so busy. Seems a lot has been happening.
Hello. You've come at the right time, but you'll have to wait for just a moment, as there are some urgent matters I must tend. In the meantime, please, have a seat. If you'd like to have something to drink, let the Melusine outside know.
That's all right. We just ate.
Very well, then.
Let's take a break over there while we wait for him to...
All right. That should wrap things up for now.
Are you done with your work?
Yes, sorry to keep you waiting. Today should be the day you were released from the Fortress of Meripede, and it appears that you've managed to complete all the release paperwork.
That's right, and we came here to see you right away.
A massive whale.
Do you have any idea what that might be?
Judging from your description, that cannot have occurred in any ordinary waters, but rather something like the primordial sea. A whale of that size and shape cannot usually be found in the waters of Tevat. Therefore, we can only assume that Child is presently immersed in primordial seawater.
Immersed in primordial seawater? But how? And is he okay?
Most people wouldn't be capable of entering in the first place. I'm not completely sure how he could have gotten there myself. Yes? What is it?
Ah, right! Paimon felt it too! We asked the Duke and he said it wasn't from underwater, so we figured you might know something about it.
It turns out that I have just received a report about this particular matter. In fact, that's exactly what I was busy with a moment ago. The source of the tremor was here on the surface near Poisson. After the shaking stopped, the water levels in the Poisson area rose at an alarming rate.
The water levels rose? Oh no! What about all the people there?
Fortunately, the water levels only rose for a short period of time, and have already returned to normal now. However, I still have a bad feeling about the whole phenomenon. If the change in water levels is connected with the leaking primordial seawater, then the situation in Poisson may be much worse than it appears.
Navia should be in Poisson, right? We need to go check on her!
I would also like to go there as soon as possible, but I'm afraid I can't leave just yet. We must immediately formulate disaster prevention plans for the surrounding coastal areas I'll have to ask you two to go to Poisson first. I'll meet you there to check on the situation once I finish things here.
There's no time to lose! Let's get going!
Please be careful.
Oh, thanks, Pookie. I love you. Mwah. I gotta stop. It's not allowed. I gotta stop being a simp. If you're only being nice, cause you wanna lay the price, you're a simp. Hey, you're a simp, you're a simp. You a simp. You a simp, you're a simp, you're a simp, you're a simp. You'll never be a pimp, you're a simp. You're a simp, you're a simp. Girl, you better bow down on your knees. Can I get a yes, your majesty? Can you treat me like a queen? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Girl, you better bow down on your... Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Oh no! What happened here? Navia should be around here, right? We need to make sure she's still... Paimon means we need to check on her.
Oh, not the sad music. Nah, my point still stands, okay? See, in the quest, there's a dude out there.
We haven't seen a single soul all the way here. Oh, this is getting scary.
What will I ever do now?
Look, there's someone on the roof over there.
Just stay put. We're coming up. Watch your balance.
All right, just hurry. I'm not young anymore. How will I survive on my own? My Desiree!
Oh, he looks pretty sad.
My leg! My leg! How could this have happened? It hurts!
Just hang in there. Help is on the way. You can hold my hand if it makes you feel better.
Oh, it's Navia. She's over there. Hey, Navia, are you okay?
You're here.
We heard there was a situation in Poisson.
Yes. As you can see, the water level suddenly rose. It caused quite the disturbance, in fact.
Demoiselle! There was a wounded resident next to a building southeast of here. We've already transported him to safety, but we've run out of medical supplies.
He's wounded? How badly?
He fell, so it's probably a broken leg. He's pretty shaken up. When the water level rose, he desperately climbed up to the roof. Once the water receded and he saw the ground, he became terrified and eventually...
He jumped down then. Find the leader of Squad 1 and tell him to take the wounded resident to see a doctor. He should know where to go.
Understood. I'll take over his search and rescue mission in the meantime.
All right. You'll be in charge. I'm sorry. Where were we?
The situation in Poisson?
Ah, right. Allow me to explain. A little earlier, we suddenly heard a loud noise. At first, everyone thought that something might have exploded on an aquabus. But before we knew it, water started pouring out from everywhere. The rushing water seemed a little odd, almost like the unique color of primordial seawater. Some people didn't realize the danger and thought it was just ordinary water, leaking from somewhere. Everyone on the street who happened to be close to the water didn't have a chance to escape. As the water levels rose, they suddenly disappeared. They were all dissolved. Those who realized what was happening started to flee in a panic, desperately trying to get to higher ground. Many were injured in the stampede, and some people fell from significant heights. The Spina di Rosula initiated rescue operations as quickly as possible, but there have been a lot of casualties. Fortunately, the water began to recede after some time, and the chaos came to an end. The water that flooded the area contained primordial seawater, so the lower levels of Poisson are still hazardous. To ensure everyone's safety, I've asked the people there to leave as soon as possible. No one knows if this could happen again. All we can do for now is try our best to help evacuate the residents. We still haven't completed the head count, but we'll have some numbers soon.
How awful. And all of this just came out of nowhere.
It was quite frightening indeed. I only wish that everything that just happened was a bad dream.
Is there any way we can help, Navia?
Thank you for being so willing to help in a moment of crisis like this. You don't know how much it means to me. can't express how grateful I am.
Don't say that, Navia. That's what friends are for.
Demoiselle! We've got a situation here!
I'll be right there. Sorry, I need to go for now.
And off she goes. Seems it might be a while before she can take a break.
Okay, the wounded are being tended to, and we finished a preliminary head count. More support has just arrived, so I suppose I finally have a moment to focus on my own matters. Of course, we should remain ready for anything, and continue doing our best to rescue others. I'll be sure to have everyone at the Spina di Rosula ready to render assistance. Traveler, Paimon, would you two accompany me to my father's grave for a moment?
Huh? Right now?
Thank you.
Let me guess. They got dissolved. They fell in the water. They jumped off the bridge.
Not a lot of people here, huh?
Well, given the time of day and the whole situation in Poisson, Paimon doesn't think there'd be a ton of people here visiting graves.
Right. That's how things are now. The living are so exhausted that they've no strength to spare any words for the dead.
Navia? Navia, what's wrong?
Sorry. I just... Malus and Silver... They won't ever come back here again. What should I do, Papa?
Huh? What happened to them?
Everyone agreed on the rescue plan, but still... I was the one who initiated it. They were helping evacuate the residents, but they couldn't leave in time. And they were caught in the sea. I've known them for so long. And I know they weren't afraid. But I could at least hold a funeral for my father. And I know where he rests. But as for Malus and Silver, they're just... gone.
Everything looks so clean after it rains. Even the gravestones. I didn't expect that you...
I can understand. Besides...
See? It's not just me. I always want to
How could Master ever be upset with you, Yet the cemetery is the home of those who have passed, is it?
Buying yourself a plot in advance, are you?
No need yet. But when I do, I hope you'll let me be buried beside Master Callus, Demoiselle.
Hey! Stop joking around.
I'm quite serious. That way, it'll save us both the trip to see each other whenever you visit your father's grave.
That makes sense. In that case, could I be buried on his other side?
After all, besides you, Demoiselle, the two of us could certainly be considered Master's closest companions, no?
Personally, I believe we fill those shoes just fine.
Why are you bringing this up all of a sudden? Seriously. All right. I'll remember your requests. But I'd really prefer not to talk about this stuff. And what do you mean by saving me a trip? I'd make the journey even if I had to visit you two somewhere else. I'd promised to let them rest in peace here. But here I am breaking that promise. I'm sorry for letting you see me in a mess like this. I don't usually cry, really.
Paimon doesn't know how to help you feel better. But, well, she understands how you feel.
I had always thought I could make my wishes come true. But now that I think about it, that never solely relied on me. Many things can only be accomplished with someone else's help. Malus and Silver have helped me so much. But by contrast, I could do nothing for them. I'm so sorry.
You can spend as much time as you need here, Navia. We'll stay with you.
Thank you. Right now, you don't know how much that means. By the way, you can have a look at this. It's a list of victims from the incident that took place here.
Obena, Khan, Burnett, Giverny, Francine, Karina, Daisy Ray, Joinville, Julianne, Esson, as well as Malus and Silver. So, everyone else is safe. But still...
It's okay. I know what you're thinking. And you're right. We lost Malus and Silver. But we were able to save more than we anticipated. The overall outcome indicates that the cost was worth it.
Right! Don't think that way, Navia. One person might be saved at the expense of another, sure, but that isn't something we should ever consider a trade. Malus and Silver were not the price for saving anyone. They're heroes.
You're right. Thank you, Paimon. What you said just now was pretty amazing, actually. I'll remember your words.
Oh, really?
Seems you've become more eloquent in the time since we last met.
The knave? What are you doing here?
Ah, is everything going well on your side?
Yes, my people are carrying out the mission according to your request. All the residents of Poisson have been evacuated, and we're preparing to relocate them to higher ground. As for these supplies, we have everything taken.
Thank you.
Wait, do you two know each other?
We just met recently. Right, Miss Navia?
Usually, I would call this a coincidental encounter. That doesn't quite fit this time. Besides, it never even crossed my mind that a Fatui Harbinger would come. Thanks to the Knave, Spina di Rosula received generous support from the Fatui. Which
mutual aid is essential to fostering positive developments. We were already in the area, in any case, so it was nothing. That said, I must say that you're a lot sharper than you let on. I'm sure you understand what I mean.
I apologize for all the ways in which I tested you previously. We've never worked with a Fatui before, and my subordinates have reported—
This is nothing to as I've told this traveler before, I know of the lending your organ—
Without your help—
Furthermore, I sincerely regret what happened to Malus and Silver.
Don't say that. As Paimon's, I've never liked—
You're right. Water is life.
So, you're one who will try to—
Of course. That is— By the way, traveler, Paimon, one more thing.
Alright, then we'll just... Huh?
That is a clever and useful conversation technique, which I do like to use. Traveler, I'm sure you remember that I said we could work together. You and I both know that there may be issues with the Primordial Sea. Previously, it was the Fortress of Meripede's sluice gate, and this time it was the water levels in Indeed. Allow me to share the latest intel I've received from the House of the Hearth's intelligence network with you. During some recent investigations, a child claimed to have discovered some ruins near Poisson. The ruins date back to ancient times. Judging by the dating of the ruins, they may be related to the prophecy and the coming crisis. My people initially came to—
So that's why the Fatui were already in Poisson.
I wanted to take the children along, but unfortunately, Linny, Lynette, and Fremine have all been dispatched to higher ground to assist affected residents. Linny told me that outside of the house, the person they trust most is you, which is why I want to give you this task. The House of the Hearth's members see each other as family, but Linny, Lynette, and Fremine said that they also see you as such, even though you are not from the house. I'm sure you already understand how earnest they consider—
Oh! That somehow makes Paimon feel kinda happy.
The intel I just shared about the—
Got it! So all we gotta do is go to some—
Excuse me, but may I tag along?
You wish to join?
But are you sure you're up to exploring some ruins?
Well, I'm sad. There's no point in being depressed while we— Besides, I'm also doing this for myself.
Since you put it that way, I have no objections. All right. The ruins are to the south of Poisson.
Okay, the three of us will handle it. Come on, let's pack.
Propagate! Dissipate!
Hey! Frost is coming!